Okay, hello everyone. Hi Jessica, welcome to SCA Babcock and I4G. Okay, sorry for that. Stop short interaction. Yeah, I'd like to welcome everyone to our program today. So we'll be expecting our first speaker who will be Miss Maya Formadu, who is the founder of Ingressive for Good. And before she joins, I'll be reading a short bio on her. So this is my face. Hi everybody, welcome to this wonderful event. So I'll kind of turn off my camera for a while. Yeah. So before that, I would like to talk about this year's theme for International Women's Day, which is generally inspiring inclusion, but we have our own, which is Voices Unheard, amplifying diversity and inclusion. So we have to understand the value women are bringing into this world, and it's not enough to pay lip service to equality. We must seek to encourage and comprehend the challenges faced by women across different cultures and career paths as well, especially in the tech space. So we have a wonderful lineup of speakers who will be doing justice to this topic. I'm so sorry for the break in transmission. There was like the light went off, so I had to reconnect. So as I was saying, um this year's IWD event is basically to sorry, I'm a bit shy today. Empowerment through belonging, inspiring inclusion, and understanding the value that women bring to the society. So while we wait for Miss Maya to join, we'll just talk about, okay, you can give a shout out on the comment section of a woman who has inspired you. Yeah, so that's what we'll be doing now till Miss Maya joins the call. So I can see Jessica. Jessica give a shout out to Adora Modo. Okay. Me, I'll give a shout. So while we wait for Miss Maya to join, let me just read out her biography. So Miss Maya is a Nigerian American founder and the GP of Ingressive Capital. She launched the first female-owned tech fund in Nigeria and was the youngest person to launch a VC in sub-Saharan Africa. She is also two-time Forbes 30 Under 30 awardee, Under Africa 2018 and Venture Capital 2020. United Nations Most Influential Person of African Descent and Kaufman Fellow. She has been featured in GQ, Forbes, CAT, CNBC. Sure. So, sorry for that short break. She has been featured in GQ, Forbes, Cat, CNBC, TechCrunch, Financial Times, Tech Cabal, The Economist, amongst others, and spoken at various conferences, including Abundance 360 and ABCA Conference and VC Summit. She'll be talking about amplifying diverse voices and stories. So that'll be okay. Someone said I gave a shout out to me because I inspire myself every day. Wow, that's really interesting. So, okay, before that, let me just also introduce the two other speakers we'll be having at the same time. The next speaker we'll be having will be Miss Ruby Ihekwem. So, okay, Miss Ruby Ihekwem is Ms. Ruby Ihekweme is an SCAP data analyst and founder of Digitally Drive. She is an economics graduate from the University of Lagos, a fellow of the Associate Accounting Technician, and a chartered accountant, currently practicing as a data analyst with over 4 years of experience, having worked with companies like KPMG, Fraser, ISEC, and Model United Nations. She is currently an SCAP consultant at Microware Solutions Limited, where she leverages issues like cloud, AI, supply chain, business intelligence, and finance to manage and revolutionize business operations. So let me reach out to Miss Maya to find out why she's not here yet. Okay, so we'll be introducing the next speaker. Sorry for the short break. And in person of Mrs. Sholape Akimpelu, who is the CEO of Harvest, which is a fintech. So Mrs. Sholape Akimpelu is an accomplished business leader, best-selling author, and gender finance expert. She serves as the CEO and co-founder of Harvest, a fintech company that provides inclusive finance to African women through savings, impact investing, and credit financing for smallholder women farmers and women-led SMEs with over 50,000 members. Mrs. Chalabe serves as the global co-chair of marketing for the Women in Tech Global Movement and the country manager for Nigeria. He is also the chairman of technology at the Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, promoting technology trade agreements between Nigeria and between Britain. Sorry, she is a member of the Presidential High Level Advisory Committee to the President of Nigeria on Women and Girls Economic Empowerment. She also sits on the Gender Committee desk at CBN on Framework for Advancing Women's Financial Inclusion.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, good evening, everyone, and happy Easter. I don't know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, Chiamaka, I guess she has a very bad network. And so apologies for that. We all go through that in Nigeria. But my name is Mabel Onyaunsi, and I am a community executive at Harvest. Um, Today, I will be representing Sholakbeya Kingpelu, who unavoidably could not be here due to an emergency, but she sent her greetings to every one of us. Today, we've been asked to speak on the topic sparking collective action for social change. And I don't know if Chiamaka can also hear me and, validate, or if she's made this introduction already. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. So we've been asked to speak on sparking collective action for change. And before we just dive into, what that means, but before we understand, or even I dive into making this presentation, I would like us to understand very, very importantly what collective action means, and what does change mean. So we've heard about change. The Buhari government said they were coming to give us change. It's becoming a word that is often used but lacks substance, lacks meaning. People say, I will change, and then they keep on repeating those same old patterns. So what does change mean? What does collective action mean? What does it mean to spark? What does it mean to ignite? When I think about sparking, I think about igniting, lighting a flame. Sometimes all you just need to light up a fire is a spark, And that spark only takes one match or a connection with something that has the power or the catalyst to bring about, a difference. So what is collective change? Like I mentioned, I've been asked to speak about sparking collective action to drive change. What is collective change? Or what is collective action, better put? Collective action is the notion that a group of people or society can be mobilized to create benefit or realize benefit to a group or society where otherwise there would not be impetus for change. I'm gonna unpack all of these things so it doesn't sound too verbose or too high sounding. Collective action is the notion, it is the idea that a group of people can be mobilized. It means that you can bring, a group of people together to create the change that otherwise would not have been, easily activated. Now, when we talk about change, there are two types of change, right? Um, Sorry, I'm turning off my camera so that the network can be a bit standard or not glitchy. When we talk about change, there are two types of change. We can influence change across two levers. One in the formal sector that affects laws, that affects policies, that affects governmental programs. And we can also influence change individually, and which is the most important part of change, and which is what we're going to be focusing on, where we influence attitudes, where we influence culture, where we influence our norms, and where we influence our behaviors. The first part of initiating change is in having a mindset that change is important and change is needed. It's believing that the time is now and you are responsible for taking that action. I'm going to back all of these things with examples. And one example I can think of is, She Code Africa, in the person of Adan Duka, and I'm going to be giving various examples. She's someone that said, when she was in uni, we never had tech communities that supported women. We never had tech communities that supported girls. It was always a 5:1. Women were not represented. Women were underrepresented. Women were not given a voice. We didn't have inclusive platforms because as women, there are certain ways that we, approach money. There's a certain way we approach technology. And, all of these things were not they were not documented. We had no space, to air our frustrations, to air our progresses, to air our successes, to exchange ideas as women. Women, we just like to have our own spaces. We didn't have all those things. And she decided that, okay, me as an individual, I'm going to take action. I'm going to be the one to initiate change. And she said, you know what, I'm going to have, because I attended the Shikota Africa event last year, and she talked about, having a small gathering of friends. And there were very few people when she had, that first gathering, and they were able to do something. And that seed, from that event in University of Nigeria was able to birth into something called, Shikota Africa. And I also believe, she has other communities that has spanned to nurture and impact over 17,000 women across Africa. Today we're here because one person took that assignment upon herself to say enough is enough. Women, our voices need to be heard. We need to have inclusive spaces where women can collaborate, where women can exchange ideas in technology. All right. So change starts with, first and foremost, recognizing that there is a problem, and first and foremost, also taking the initiative to solve that problem. If a pen falls and there are a lot of pens stacked, in front of that pen, there is a tendency that when it just falls, it's going to have a ripple effect. When you want to create change, you must first and foremost understand that, like I said, that change is important, that change is needed, and thirdly, that your action will eventually lead to collective change. So you don't just make that move and say, okay, I'm making this move because I don't know what is going to happen. Always believe that whatever you're doing has the tendency to change lives, has the tendency to drive transformation, has the tendency to change politics, because there are so many people that are dependent on us. If we didn't have people like Femi Olufemi Layo and some Kuti who came and fought for a lot of women's rights, we didn't have people like Wangari Maathai who said, you know what, let us build a sustainable Africa through planting trees. Women have come out to say enough is enough, but sometimes they had to take the bullet for these things. People like Malala Yusuf, who said, they came in Afghanistan and said women are not allowed to go to school, and she said, no, we want to go to school. And they kept on pushing these rebels to the wall, and one day they came and they shot her. And even in the midst of that pain and in the midst of that disappointment, she said, no, I'm still going to stand my ground. Today Malala Yusuf is a graduate of an Ivy League university, but because of her, a lot of girls today are going to school. There's a statistic that over 10 million Nigerian children are out of school. Nigeria has the largest number of out of school children in the world, and largest out of school children in the world, and 60% of these numbers are girls. Every year that a girl does not go to school, she loses 14% of her purchasing power. She loses 14% of her earning power. We need people to come out and start speaking up. We need people to come out and create opportunities. And Harvest is one of such initiatives that said financial services is just so general. Women get pregnant, they leave the workforce, they go to have children, they come back, maybe they've missed out on so many things, they're not updated with skills. We don't take into consideration parental leave, things like that. Women were so affected, and it was contributing to what we call the unpaid care, unpaid wages that women experience when they leave the workforce. There's so many things, there's so many systemic injustices, there's so many systemic setbacks that women go through in terms of their finances, even education. When we say that, women are so empathetic, women are so emotional, and so it's very important that women should focus on maybe feminized roles or nurturing roles like teaching or nursing. Because you're a woman, you're so empathic. It's good that you tilt towards that line of teaching and nursing and administrative roles. I'm not saying that anything is wrong with those roles, but what about women in STEM? What about women in business? What about women in academia? Yes, we've made significant progress in this area. We have communities like Shicode, Women in Tech Nigeria, but there's still so much work to be done. There's so much digital literacy gap in the North. These gaps exist so that there will be solutions to them. These gaps exist because there's still voices that are unheard when it comes to advocating for change. So the first step in terms of creating change or collective action, igniting and attracting and influencing collective action, is first and foremost with a man in the mirror. It starts with you recognizing that there is a gap in a certain industry and being not just motivated enough, but understanding that if you don't make that move today, right, nobody else is going to make that move. Do you know of that saying that somebody said somebody's going to do it, and anybody said somebody's going to do it, and eventually somebody is nobody, right? Somebody starts with you. That person is you. All right, everybody that did one thing or the other, like Steve Jobs would say, the people that change the world are the ones that are crazy enough to think that they can change the world. So my word to you today is be crazy enough to think that you can ignite change in your own little space. It doesn't mean that just in your own little way, even if it means having your phone and going on YouTube, social media, your Instagram, talking about things that will have the power to ignite change and change lives. Anything that has the potential to change people's lives, that anything that has the potential to add money into the lives of people, connect children with education, connect women with education, empower people, lift disempowered communities out of poverty, out of sicknesses, out of whatever it is, whatever you're doing or whatever idea you think that has the potential to do that thing, right? That has the potential to drive inclusivity, that has the potential to empower women, that has the potential to empower children, that has the potential to change people's mindsets, is very important. And if it matters to you, then it matters to a lot of people. Take action today, right? Take action. Don't look at all the disadvantages that might surround you or the disparities. Take action. And I tell you, a lot of people are watching. So, for example, I'm going to give an example with Harvest, right? Sholape Akinpelu, who founded this company with Yomi Ogunleye, one of the major reason why she founded Harvest was, she used to work in, she started her career as a marketing professional, working for financial brands. So as a copywriter, you will write, brands will come to you and say, oh, we want to do this advert and we want to reach so people. This is our target audience. Because in marketing, before you say you want to even do anything, you must know who you're talking to. You cannot talk to everybody. You must talk to a select people. Your product cannot cater to everybody because you're going to spread yourself so thin. So you must have a target market. But every time these brands, these top financial brands kept on coming to the agencies, to these agencies where she worked in, and top tier agencies, they never put women as their target audience for, when they had an investment to sell or they had a financial product to sell, whether it was insurance. Even when you think about financial ads, it's always a man's voice that you hear. It's always a man that maybe if he dies, the family is in problem. What about the woman? We were not seeing, women were not being represented enough, and it was affecting the way we saw money, right? Some women think that, oh, let me just be safe, let me save, and let men who are very high risk and adventurous, let them invest. Well, every time we don't invest, guess what? We lose thousands of dollars on the table, because investment is how you grow wealth. There are two levels to growing wealth. You have to invest, and you have to multiply the way you bring your money through multiple streams of income. You have to spend less, you have to earn more. A way to earn more is through investment and multiple streams of income. But women were just saving. Nobody grows rich, aka just saving. For now, you can start saving because that is the foundation of your wealth journey. But as you progress in your financial ladder and in your financial life, you have to start moving moving and climbing the ladder so that you can create financial freedom for yourself. You cannot play small. Or women were playing small. And Sholakwe was, was so angry about this. Why were we losing so much money? 10 years ago, the plethora of financial platforms that we have now, we didn't have it 10 years ago. We didn't have a Harvest. We didn't have a Money Africa. We didn't have all of these platforms. They carry wise. They were teaching people how to make money. Young people in school. When I was in university, every money I had with my boyfriend, we would just go out and spend it. I didn't have that idea that, oh, it's important to save. I never thought that I needed to save until I started earning well. Even when I was in youth service, I felt like, oh, I was just earning 20,000 naira in addition to what the government was paying me. That was a very little amount of money. Why should I save? What was important for saving? Until something happened to me. An uncle was very sick, and this uncle was supposedly rich. But we found out that he couldn't take himself to the hospital because he was just making money and spending the money. He was never saving. He was never saving for rainy days. Life will happen. Emergencies will happen. How prepared are you? How prepared are you in terms of your finances, right? To weather that storm. You cannot be dependent on your family for too long. Imagine if the family is also thinking that they want to be dependent on you, right? So we have to start thinking, being responsible, even in the way we care for our environment. Some people drink things and they throw it on the floor, and tomorrow you say it's the government. When there's a flooding, people are dying, but you know that bottle will fall into the gutter and create a drainage block. All of these little things, we need to search within ourselves. Are we ready financially? Are we ready environmentally? How can we spark little changes from our own environment, from our own little spaces? And the truth is, people are watching, whether you like it or not. There's a saying that children learn so much from their parents. Guess what? A lot of people are watching you, whether you know it or not. You might post and have only one like, but guess what? If you're still consistent with that information that is very important, soon you will be a change maker. So it starts with, the little small gestures. Like I said, creating change starts with having a point of view, and that point of view must stem from a need. I'm also going to share some other points, even as we go forward in this presentation. And please, if we're, getting some key points from this, I like to have an interactive session. So just share in the comments what you're learning, like Chiamaka said, even a woman that inspires you, because these are the things that motivate people to keep on going. Women say that, I was listening to someone and she said that, she was having a book signing event. She's a writer, and there was this huge man that came and just hugged her, and he said, "My life is better because of you. My life has been transformed because of you. I was supposed to commit suicide, but when I watched one of your videos, you just changed, and you just, changed the my outlook on life. Now I know that I have meaning. Now I know that I have a purpose. Now I know that I came into life with an assignment. And as individuals, we must always understand that we are purpose-driven individuals. You are not of yourself. Imagine yourself as a body. When we say that, if the eye says to itself, I don't need the eye, I don't need your leg, I don't need the hand, I don't need my head, I don't need my neck, I will just walk on my own. The Bible says, where will the hearing be? If the nose says, I don't need the eye, where will the seeing be? It's the same thing with us. We must see ourselves as a body, right, that must work together to influence change. In terms of our government, in terms of our national building, national development, private sector, public sector collaboration, we must work together to create change. And that change starts with us. We shouldn't leave it to the government. We shouldn't leave it to our families. We should always understand that collective change in terms of government, in terms of finance, in terms of whatever it is, starts with us. Another thing is that I'm going to just run over this point because I know that I have a limited time. Building strong, diverse coalitions, right? Once you understand, and that's what I talked about, once you understand that different people have different perspectives and everybody has a gift, then we can work together and appreciate them and create a more effective and inclusive environment. You don't have everything, and you don't know everything. If you knew everything, God will create only you in this world, and he would operate with only you, and he will engage only you. Everybody is a repository of gifts and talents and change and solutions. All right. So we must understand that everyone has something to bring to the table, and we must appreciate them and create an environment that nurtures those gifts and nurtures those talents so that we can create an inclusive and effective environment. When women say that we should inspire inclusion, we're not just talking for talking sake. Women have A lot of women have been neglected. A lot of women have been stereotyped. A lot of women, there was a video that was around recently, and the man said, there was a case going on, and the man said, so you're a woman, tell me what it feels like to work as a stewardess in this airline. And the woman was like, I'm not a stewardess, I am an airline pilot. But because of the stereotypes that women have gone through over the years, that we cannot work in certain industries, that we are supposed to be in certain places, and that we're not supposed to have too much money, have more money but don't have too much money, do something but don't do enough. All right. Just be very minimal. Don't raise your voice too loud. Don't change culture. Culture is not meant to be changed, but culture is made by people. So if culture is made by people, people can change culture. All right. So you have to understand that we must work together to bring about social change or collective change, and that starts with diverse coalitions. Another thing is that you have to establish clear goals and strategies, right? You need to focus your efforts and ensure that all stakeholders are working together towards the same goal. And this requires communication, right? Communicating with your team, communicating with stakeholders. You must ensure that the message and the goal is clear. Build relationships and collaborate with others. You can build relationships with organizations, with individuals who share similar goals, so that they can strengthen your efforts and they can create a stronger force for change. I believe this is self-explanatory. Also, leverage your team members' strength. Encourage team members to use their unique skills and their strengths so that you can work more effectively and also more efficiently. Another is be persistent and be persevering. Change can be slow. Yes, change sometimes is very slow, right? And it can also be a difficult process. But it's important to stay on the course. It's important to be engaged. It's important to be motivated, even when the progress is actually very, very slow. But with persistence, with collaboration and adaptability, we can create the collective change that we desire and that we seek. If there's one thing that I want us to leave with today, is that all of us are responsible for the change that we want to see in the environment. All of us are responsible for the change that we want to see in our lives. All of us are responsible for the change that we want to see in the tech industry, in the entrepreneurial system, in the financial system. Support women, lift the other woman up. Don't be quick to tear her down. Don't say things about her that can harm her, even when she's not in the room. Speak for other women in the rooms. Avail yourself to share insights, to share knowledge, to share opportunities that can affect the lives of people. Don't live life alone. That's what I'm going to say. If there's one thing you're going to leave here with today, don't do life alone. There's power in numbers, there's power in collectivism. And when we understand that we all have our diverse strengths and diverse giftings, and we are all purpose driven, you are the solution to someone's problem, right? Imagine if you don't use your gifts. Guess what? The world will not, nobody can be like you. You are your own unique self. You have your own unique gifts. And if you don't use those gifts, if you don't use that, if you don't fulfill your purpose or assignment, another life is going to be affected. So you need to understand that you have a purpose in life, and don't let shyness, don't let any disadvantage stop you. Be persistent, and with time, you would see the change that you desire. I hope you were able to learn something or two. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Chamaka, you can take over. Hello, Chiamaka, can you hear me? Hello, Chiamaka. Can you hear me? Okay, I guess she has a network problem. But let's just, share in the comments what we learned from this session. If you learned a thing or two, how have you also, been able to create change in your own little way? And what step are you going to take from today, to create change in your own life and in your own environment? So what little way are you going to, initiate change? I just want you to share this in the comments so that we can all hold ourselves accountable. If it means reading more so that you can come out with a better grade and access scholarship opportunities or internship opportunities that would allow you to earn more and, support your family or create that platform that you've always been wanting to develop, whatever it is, just share in the comments one way that you would be responsible towards creating change in your own little way. In your own little way. So thank you so much. And let's connect. My name is Mabel Onyaunsi. I'm on LinkedIn. You can follow me. You can share any questions that you might have or messages with me. You can also follow us across our social media platforms at Harvest NG, Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok. Yes, LinkedIn, learn about how you can manage your money better and grow your money better. Download the Harvest app and start saving and investing towards your goal. We're here for all women. We're here to see women win financially. We want to support women on their journey to building financial freedom. And would love you to be a part of that community, right? So if you can hear me, you can download the Harvest app and start saving and investing towards your goal. So while we wait for Chiamaka, you can share any questions or comments that you have in the comment section.
Okay, I think it's because I was not on stage. That's why I've not been speaking. So I'll just change the layout. Yes, that's the reason I couldn't you couldn't hear me. So as I was saying before, Miss Ruby Ihekweme is the next speaker, and she's the founder of Digitally Drive, and her talk and presentation will be on building inclusive spaces and networks, the power of empowering women in tech. Okay, she's here now. Good evening, Miss Ruby.
Yeah, good evening, Senator. Can you hear me?
I can't really hear you. So I've been introducing you since, but like I was not on the stage, so that's the reason.
Yes, that's fine. So I'm saying, can you hear me now? Am I
Yeah,
audible?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So, this is my first time using StreamYard.
Yeah, it's also my
so,
first time too, so a lot of mistakes.
so I don't know how to navigate this. So, is it time for me to make my presentation, and speak to the audience? Can
Yes,
I go on
yes,
now? That's what I mean. All right. So,
yes.
okay, I present. Right. So let me present now. Slides. Share my screen. Okay, so confirm that I'm sharing now. Can you confirm?
No, let me see. Um,
Can you confirm that you can see my screen?
yeah, I can't see your screen. Have you presented already? Let me just wait. I'm coming. Let me.
Yeah, can you confirm? Okay. Can you see my screen now? Hear me?
I can see your screen.
Can anyone see my screen?
Hi, Ruby. I can see your screen now. It's showing.
And can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you as well.
So I think now I can turn on my camera because I didn't want to struggle to for my screen to be seen, and then I'm looking a bit lost. So yeah, I think this is my first time using, like I said, and I'm trying to adjust my head for my head to be straight, but somehow I think it goes the opposite direction. So it's fine. It doesn't matter if my head is straight or not. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go straight to my slide. Once again, thank you, Chamaka. Thank you, Helen. I think Helen's person I can see on the chat box. So thank you so much for inviting me here today and speaking to your wonderful women. Please confirm that you can see my screen right now. You can see my presentation.
Yes, you can see. I can see the presentation.
Okay, so I don't know how this platform works, but is it possible for
Yeah, it's showing
some?
on YouTube. I can see it on YouTube now. So as you're showing here, it's streaming to YouTube.
Okay, so can people unmute? Is it possible for people to unmute here?
And no, no, you can only join through the
Okay,
comment section.
all right. So I think the dynamics of our presentation might change. I mean, but let's start. So today's webinar is about amplifying diversity and inclusion, and I'll be speaking on the topic, building inclusive spaces and networks and empowering women. What I mean, what's the power of empowering women? In tech. I want to speak on tech. You know, but I was like, oh, why not just say the power of empowering women generally, whether in tech or not in tech. So my name is Hekume Ruby or Ruby Hekume. I'm the founder of Study Thrive. I'm an educator, very important, because I love educating people a lot. And I'm also, when it comes to my, where I practice more, you know, my career paths, I'm a data analyst. So you might want to connect with me as well. So here are my socials if you want to connect with me after the call. So let's get right into it. So why I said I might need people to talk is because I normally have an icebreaker. We always have an icebreaker. Someone who is an icebreaker or who was an icebreaker. You have icebreaker. So since I cannot have people on mute, right? So I might just ask this question. You can just use the chat box, right? I mean, people can use the chat box, right, Chamaka, so they can drop in their you know replies. So icebreaker, let's just do this in 2 minutes. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? So I think I'll go first. For me, I I will say this. I want to be Aquaman, and then someone's asking why Aquaman. I'm like because Aquaman was able to communicate with the marine kingdom. So I think I want to be Aquaman because I want to have the power to be able to communicate with people more efficiently. I mean, I think I communicate quite well, but I want to do better, and I want to be able to break down the most complex things into a very easy to understand manner. So I think that's what superpower I want to have to be able to communicate excellently. I think that solves 50% of problem with people and just in society. So yes, can someone just share what is superpower would be? So I think I'm going to escape this thing and go back to the call to see if I have responses in the chat box. I don't know. Chamaka, is this the chat box where people put in responses? In this chat box.
Yeah, it's the same chat box. It's YouTube's chat box, so everybody can.
Oh, so it comes in from YouTube. So, I mean,
Yeah.
can I see any responses from anybody if we have a superpower? I want this to be very short as well as interactive. So, can anyone share if you have a superpower? What could it be? And but you don't have to say why because you can't unmute. So you can just tell us what superpower that you'd like to have if you had the power. You know, in any responses. given time, I think I'll just, like I said this for 2 to 4 minutes, so I can just skip that part, right? So let me go back to my view because I want to show this on the slideshow. So yeah, so what does beauty?
Okay,
I
somebody
like I
just
said, I
said
wanted to.
me to teleport so I can see the world.
Well, I think when time I ask question, people always say that, and it's so funny why people always like teleporting. Teleporting always has to be their superpower. Alright, it's fine. I mean, we also want to see, you know, how beautiful the world looks. So that's a very beautiful superpower that you're imagining for yourself. So, what does beauty and inclusive space mean to you? Honestly, I think I set out this, slides of meditation in form of an interactive session. But I don't know. Now I'm seeing that it's quite unfortunate that this stream here does not accept people on meeting. Yeah, I think that's very bad. So, what does beauty and inclusive space mean to you? So, I'm going to ask these questions to our esteemed audience, but I'm just going to go right into it. So, being as inclusive space means, for me, it means that everyone gets a seat at the table, right? It means that everybody gets a seat at the table. Everybody. There's no segregation. No matter you're a man or a woman, you're this or that, everybody gets a seat at the table. So that's what inclusiveness means. So building an inclusive space means. Also, we create conditions for success. So I put this, when building an inclusive space mean that women also get to be included in decision making. The women get to be included in a lot of things, and that is us creating the conditions for success. Because on a broader notice, when women are not included in so many opportunities, like women are not given the access, access is not handed over to women to, explore an opportunity. So, where they're not able to tap into their full potential or full success in whatever you're doing, or maximize their goal. So now, when we give women these opportunities, when we include women into spaces, into opportunities, into gateways, we now create it because you can put 5 penny in a woman's hand and you see how good she multiplies that 5 penny. You see how women can turn what they have when you just give them the access to the opportunity. You see how they're able to maximize it. So when we give women access to this space, when we include them into these opportunities that the society has for everybody, we're able to now create conditions for success. We create this success. We now tell you that you can be a woman, you can do this. You know how women are always good at multitasking? You know, they can do this, they can do that, and they still become successful. So now you're showing people that we can do all of it and still, be successful and be a woman. So giving us the opportunity shows the society how we can we still maximize the opportunity and just show the potential of success for us. So we create the conditions for success. So we also another indicator that that talks about how we can build and what does building an inclusive space mean. It also means that everybody is given access on agency. It means that everybody's given access to opportunities. Everybody's given access to control, right? Everybody's also given access to decision making. So it's not only the people that makes the decision, but every other person makes a decision as well. So I'm just going to give a very quick illustration. So I think sometime last year they were celebrating, successful people in AI, and because of the kind of people I follow on LinkedIn, so they wanted to talk about AI, data science, and all of that. So it was found out that the only woman they recognize as someone that's hitting milestones in her career in AI field was just one woman out of, excuse me, I think they recognized about 20 people and one was just a woman. And we found out that the woman they recognized was generated through AI. Do you understand? So it just seems like when that's just one of the things that happen when women are not being included in all of these, recognizing all the contributions that women have made, recognizing women, including them in this decision, in control, agencies, that is just what it means. But when we now build an inclusive space, means that those limitations are cut off, mean that women get to be included, in this decision making, in resources, in control and opportunities as well. So yeah, I just put up a very brief video. I want it to play.
Yeah, it's playing here. I don't think it has audio. I guess just playing.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So I mean that was just me doing a practical illustration of what it means for women to create the conditions for success, what it means for women to be included in this decision making. So by that, you can see the power of just building inclusive spaces where everyone gets a seat at the table. Women will create the condition for success. So yeah, we're speaking about building inclusive spaces, right? So we're going to talk about what the power of empowering women. So, like I said, on my, I had to change this to empower women. So it's not like, oh, we're only bothered about the tech space, but now it's much more generalized. So, what is the power of empowering women like? The power of empowering women um, brings about societal growth. So, when women are being empowered, when women have access to education, and technology, there's substantial growth in the society. When we give women, like I said, I've said in my previous statement that, you know, prior to the time where women are never included, but now that women are being included, when you give them the right access, they create the conditions for success. So that's the thing. When women have access to education, you would see how, you would see how beautiful, you know, how creative, you know, how powerful a woman can get once she puts resources in her hand, once you put education, once you put the right technology. All of these things will bring about substantial growth in the society because empower a woman, a society will grow times 10 of it. So another thing is productivity. So when you invest in women, it brings about community mindsets, which in turn brings productivity. So why I put this here is because I want to bring out practical illustration. So my not for profit organization, which is Digital Drive for Women. We do a lot of tech projects where we give scholarships to women to come and learn tech skills. So when you see the community of women, once you see you empower about 400 women per class. Once you empower them, you would see that community mindset they all have. All of them are learning at the same time. All of them are, they have this togetherness, this community mindset. They do things together. They try to help each other solve a problem. If their code is not working, they help each other. By that, that is productivity. Because if one person was probably in her room trying to break into tech, you know, that would probably not be easy, right? She might take a much longer time to break into that field. But because we empower women, that sense of community, that community mindset will always come to them. For instance, now, why am I saying this? If I decide to, I've even tried it here. There's a time we empower both male and female in the community, and you could not even see the enthusiasm of the community learners were not as great as when it was just a group of women. I think we've gone through there's a cohort that we had just men. Everybody was just, a bit passive in the platform or in trade. But when we had this community of women learners, only women, they were so excited. They said, oh, thank God it's only when we started, our first day. Oh, it's only women in the house. I'm so excited. I can't wait for women. That's what people were saying. So along as the time went on, you saw that their productivity increased. They had the community mindset. That's one good thing about empowering women. Always form alliances, and it always has a ripple effect in the society. So another thing is economic progress. So investing in women is a very facilitating economic progress. That if you invest in women, that is, like I said, ripple effect. There will be an acceleration of economic progress. Put a resource in a woman's hand, you would see how she's able to just lead. She'll be like, this is a woman. And I'm like, yes, I am a woman because I can do it. So that's just a beautiful thing, you know. Generational wealth. Investing in women creates generational wealth. Women always have the ability to create wealth. Like I said, you put an opportunity in a woman's hand, you put a resource, you see how they are able to maximize it, right? So that is the power of empowering women. So what does empowering women mean to you? So I was gonna ask this as well, but because we do not have the platform to unmute, so I'm just gonna skip this as well. So I'm answering this, right? Because what does empowering women mean to you? So now let me talk about what empowering women looks like actually. Okay. Well, empowering women means talks about providing opportunity. When you're talking about empowerment, you talked about the benefit here. So I'm asking you, what does empowerment look like for you? Like, what does it mean to you? But now on a much broader scale, let's just talk about it since no one can unmute. But in empowering women, it can just be as simple as providing opportunities for women, right? That is just it. Ensuring that women have opportunities. Another thing can also be opening the door for a fellow woman. So you don't have to wait till you provide opportunities for women. You can also open the door for a fellow woman. When you help a woman get into a place that you are in, you're not just, trying to shut down the door to a woman, but you allow women, you allow women, open the door. Sometimes you see when people say, thanks to women who set the pace for other women, who open the door for other women. That's what it means. What it means when you talk about empowering, you can empower women in so many ways, even as an individual, as a woman, whether you're a teen, you're an adult, you can empower women by providing opportunities that open the door for women, that also providing assistance to a woman. What I mean by assistance is community. I'm going to look at the angle of community. Because, for instance, if you're in a community, like for instance, the community of women learners we have, you can see that sometimes somebody is lagging behind in their training, and person will ask a question on the platform, how can I do this? The fact that you're able to even help the person, oh, can we hop on a call to, you know, you assisting. That is just, you empowered your fellow. You're not giving you're empowering your fellow woman at this hand, this extension, this your hand of extension. And you take her out, provide assistance to her, and by that, you are doing amazing things, you're creating impact as well. So by the time you say, oh, can I help you with your code? What's happening? Can I can I take you on on a coach? Can I give you assist? Sorry, give me a minute. So yeah, can you hear me? Confirm that you can hear me, please.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So another thing is mentioning names. So you're able to mention people's names, right? If they tell you, oh, I have an opportunity and want to give an opportunity to a woman, like how are you able to mention a woman's name in another room when she's not there? People just think empowerment is, oh, I'm going to give a woman a job. And another thing, maybe I'm going to empower a woman, it has to be like when the government comes and say, let's open a grant or let's do one accelerator program, in that capacity. It doesn't have to be in that, capacity. It can be from the smallest Remember, it's 5 naira, 10 naira that makes up millions of dollars. That's why I always tell people don't see 100 naira as small money or 10,000 or that. It's all the accumulation of money that makes millions. So all these little steps, all these little things that happen is what gives the magnifying output. So always learn to mention the smallest thing we can, provide opportunities, open door for fellow women, render assistance to your women in the community. I mean, some people here are probably in a community, tech community or non-tech community, whichever, but you're able to provide assistance. You're able to also mention it. You're also able to provide lastly, provide for instance, like, if you have a material, if you have a CV template that you have, you think somebody's asking, you can share. And for instance, now sometimes I post whenever I make content, I post, oh, I have a CV template. Do you want if you want to leave a comment, someone leaves a comment, and somebody now leaves another comment, oh, can I have this? I will see when people actually have conversation in the comment section. They're like, okay, text me, I'll give it to you. Because I think I've shared the folder with them, but the other person is waiting for me to share. But like obviously I'm just in the comment quietly. But there's an after woman in the chat in the comment that they still have a conversation. They're like, oh, I'm sending to you, DM me. So that's just you. Like can you see empowering a woman? She's not just shutting her out and taking all the bullshit herself. That's you. These small things is what creates the ripple effect at the end of the day. So just always ensure that you're empowering women in the smallest way that you can, right in your local community and your local capacity or your high capacity, whatever capacity you have, it is capacity and it is called empowerment. So when and how can I empower women? Like I said, it's just me saying in your community, in your school, around you, in the smallest way. It can be in the smallest way. You don't have to wait till you only have thousands or thousands of naira. You want to now say, okay, I'll go to orphanage and now or build a school for girl child, for an orphanage that has only girl child. You don't have to wait till when you get to that stage. You can start from your school, your community, around you, and in the smallest way. So that is exactly how you can empower women. So the power of empowerment, like I spoke about, is how you can empower women. Um, what does empowering women look like, and the benefits of empowering women? It can be in any way, but understand that when you do this what creates ripple effects. It's what makes women to recognize as decision makers. What makes everyone to be included, everyone to have a seat at the table. So, yeah, my last video, yeah, last video. All right. Yeah, I think that's my last video. So yeah. So great. So yeah, I think I've come to the end of my presentation for today. But before I go, I also like to leave resources that I have for my community of women. I mean women here. We have a community of women running this call. So I put up a resource for you or resources for you. You can just I don't know if you can copy this right while you can see my screen. You can copy this link to the CV template. You can see sites where you can apply for remote jobs. I'm also giving out my community, right? Or my team, we're giving out scholarship to 20 women that are willing to learn data science and analytics. So you can also use this link. Trust me not to leave without making impact in the smallest way. So you can make use of this link, apply for the scholarship for your CV, or take the CV template or look at where you can apply for jobs. So I think that's it. I think I've come to the end of our presentation. So thank you. I'm going to hand over to you, Chamaka. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you so much, Ruby, for joining. It was really fun and nice having you here. We thank you for the work you're also doing in promoting education, tech education, and also that's like an amazing job really. So thank you so much for taking out time to be part of our program today. We appreciate. So I don't know, let's see if you have questions. Yeah. So that will be the
What do you
end.
say?
I'm not sure if you have questions in the comment section.
That's okay.
Yes.
So yeah, once again, it was great having this conversation with everybody on the call. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was really nice having you. Okay, thank you guys for joining. This is the end of our program today.